Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow Toastmasters, why am I happy with the election results? Well, Cam stole some of my thunder. Thanks, Cam. But today we're going to talk a bit about democracy, signage, the alien plot, and what's next. So first, let's talk about democracy. I believe we just heard Mike mention 1,500, 1,600 candidates?
1,700.
1,700. So think about this, all those weeks and efforts that over 1,400 people put in to be told thank you, but no. And so to those people, I salute them. I heard one person on CBC, the People's Network, I heard it from off a shade there, that he knocked on 18,000 doors and it wasn't enough. Well, think about the effort to knock on 18,000 doors to be told thanks but no thanks. So I salute those people. That's democracy, isn't it? That's how we do things. But according to this newspaper, that's going to change in 4 years. It's out there, it's all over the radio. It's very funny to see it. So we had good people, and we ask a lot of our good people, even those that are running with no hope, we ask them knock on doors, talk to us, put out your brochures, put out all your stuff, and make me feel important, because I have a vote, and you need each and every one of us. The important thing, though, I think about our election last night, for the government of this country, which we did elect a Liberal government, is that many countries, when they change the guard like this, there's actual guards and people exchange shots, and their changing of the guard is a little more forceful. The people don't have a lot of say. But we've having a changing of the guard where the worst that's going to happen is the paper shredders on Parliament Hill will be going crazy for the next 4 weeks until the Liberals actually get into office. That's standard. Now we're going to talk a bit about signage. I'm very happy this election's over because finally we'll be able to see the roadways. We'll be able to, I don't know, I drive a motorcycle, I drive small cars, and just looking around those signs is somewhat distracting, and sometimes you have to go like this to see if there's a person actually walking over there. Did you notice, the city of Ottawa is very fortunate. You guys here, you have laws, and you could only put them out about a month ago. Montreal, we have these giant 3x6 signs everywhere, and I mean 3 feet by 6 feet, which would be 2 meters by 2.5 meters. I don't do metric very well. But they're everywhere, and you cannot see around them. The other thing about the signage is, it was kind of fun. I did not witness it here in Ottawa, but in Montreal, somebody graffitied and put mustaches on everybody's signs. So it was equal opportunity abuse, and I thought, yes, I chuckled. I thought that was very funny because, you know, everybody, lady candidates, male candidates, they all had mustaches. It was a great thing. So we talked about the people's faces everywhere. Now, I'm going to suggest specifically to Ottawa that the stars have aligned. The current mayor of Ottawa, there's no doubt, he doesn't wear blue ties. He is a Liberal. He was a former provincial cabinet minister, Liberal. The current government in Ontario is Liberal. Now the feds are Liberal. So I'm going to say all the stars aligned for this region and painted them red last night because Liberals took over the entire province. Which brings me to my alien plot. Very serious. You have to listen to this thread to learn. Did you know that this newspaper chain, Post Media Group, supported the Conservatives? They came out and said Harper's the best one for the country. People hate this newspaper. They immediately had to know it was an alien plot to make everybody vote Liberal, right? See the connection? Well, what it's really about is making people to think. And what they did is Justin Trudeau promised us a deficit of $10 billion to invest in infrastructure. Now more times than I wish most weeks, drive between Ottawa and Montreal. And I can assure you, Quebec needs all the help it can get for roads. I refuse to drive my motorcycle there, and their roads are terrible. Infrastructure, though. Have you noticed? Here in Ottawa, we are having the LRT. I heard Mr. Trudeau say he's going to extend the LRT to the east end to the mall out there in Orleans. What I'm getting at here is this is the alien plot. You see them all over and you just think they're benign and just sitting there. But those witches' cones that proliferate around the construction sites, that force you to go slower, that force you to go to the left or right, I have seen them congregating at night on the street corners, waiting for those guys to paint the line so they could just stop all the traffic altogether. That's an alien plot. They're in there, they're taking over, and they're going to do construction everywhere to force you to slow down and stop. I want you to think about those witches' cones, especially now that Halloween's coming and the Liberals are going to invest $10 billion in infrastructure. They're going to take over this province too. They're already in Montreal. They're expanding into Orleans. Everywhere I go now, I see those witches' cones telling me, slow down, stop. Sometimes they have a little guy waving a sign for them saying, stop. You watch, they're coming. The last thing we're going to talk about is where do we go next? We have 4 years of a majority government. They can do whatever they want. Ralph must be tickled pink because I heard on the radio talking about this newspaper saying the Liberals are going to do away with first past the post. We're going to go to a weighted average system like Australia. The really positive news, fellow Toastmasters, is we can now go back to not talking about sex, religion, not talking about race, and not talking about politics, because we have 4 years of a majority government. In conclusion, today we've talked about democracy, signage, the alien plot to take over our highways and roadways, and lastly about democracy, why I'm happy about the election results. I'm happy it's over. Mr. Chairman.